Good day. My name is Bob Wolitz. I'm going to be dealing with the money gathering traps that are set for drivers today. What jeopardy does a driver experience when running a red light at a controlled intersection? Two major concerns surface immediately. First, safety becomes an immediate issue. Second, the potential of receiving a traffic citation. In Eau Claire, the fine is $160.80 with a 3-point assessment. I'll address the safety issue first. If the yellow light conforms to Federal Regulation 393.55, the exposure to a rear-end collision is low. With a short yellow light time, as is the case in Eau Claire and on state roads under the control of Wisconsin Department of Transportation, automobile drivers are at an increased exposure for rear-end collisions. Why? Automobile deceleration rate is 20 feet per second. Large trucks have a deceleration rate of 14 feet per second. The perception reaction time, as applied in Wisconsin, is 1/2 second short of the standard time of 1.5 seconds. Now let's address the citation problem. Very few drivers will contest the red light runner citation in court. Why? Money. It's cheaper to pay the $160.80 fine than it is to take it to court. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation, the Federal Highway Administration, the Institute of Transportation Engineers, and the local traffic engineers realize drivers will not challenge the citation in court, even with a short yellow light time. So now, the perfect money-gathering trap is set for drivers throughout the city, the state, and the nation. The implementation of cameras at intersections have improved the trap drivers face. No longer is it necessary to have a law enforcement officer present. These cameras record red light runners with a picture. A picture is worth more than 1,000 words, right? Wrong. Unless the yellow light times are equal to or longer than the times established by Federal Regulation 393.55 for mixed traffic, drivers are not guilty, even with a picture. Local governments have turned the red light cameras into a money-making enterprise. The shorter the yellow light times are, the more revenue will be collected. The Eau Claire Leader-Telegram printed the article, Traffic Cameras Worth Considering, by Don Hoopcher. The article mentioned comments made by the then city manager, Don Norrell. Per article, one benefit the cameras would do for the city of Eau Claire is to generate revenue for their coffers. Surveillance cameras are a tool to catch red light runners with the proper yellow light times, and not to harass innocent drivers with short yellow light times. Short yellow light times illustrate how corrupt and dishonest governments at all levels have become when dealing with drivers on roadways in America. The Washington Times newspaper printed the article, Yellow Lights Getting Shorter, by Daniel Drummond. The article answered the why the yellow times are getting shorter. Money. More ill-gotten, dirty, tainted money for local governments. Many local governments use red light cameras to reap revenues from traffic tickets given to unsuspecting motorists. A large percent of these drivers are innocent because of the short yellow light times. Using the accepted methodology, the kinematic formula, the following charts compare the Wisconsin DOT and the City of Eau Claire yellow light durations against Federal Regulation 393.55 as the standard. This chart compares federal standard times to Wisconsin Department of Transportation times, with the DOT controlling Hastings Way and Claremont Avenue in Eau Claire. 35 miles an hour. The federal standard length duration of the yellow light should be 5.17 seconds. Wisconsin DOT has it set at 3.57 seconds. The DOT is short 1.6 seconds from the standard. 45 miles an hour. The standard is 6.22 seconds. Wisconsin DOT on Hastings Way and Claremont Avenue have it set at 4.3 seconds. Again, they're short by 1.92 seconds from the standard. At 50 miles an hour, the standard is 6.74 seconds. The Wisconsin DOT has the yellow light set at 4.67 seconds. They're 2.07 seconds short of the standard. This next chart compares federal standard time to the City of Eau Claire times. 25 miles an hour, the standard is 4.12 seconds. The City of Eau Claire has it set at 3.62 seconds. They're a half a second short of standard. At 30 miles an hour, the standard is 4.65 seconds. The City of Eau Claire has it set at 4.15 seconds. Again, a half a second short of standard. 35 miles an hour, the standard is 5.17 seconds. The City of Eau Claire has it set at 4.67 seconds. And again, a half a second short of the standards. The values used to develop the above are Federal Regulation 393.55, deceleration rate 14 feet per second per second. Perception reaction time 1.5 seconds. Wisconsin Department of Transportation, State of Wisconsin, the deceleration rate 20 feet per second, and a perception reaction time of 1 second. The City of Eau Claire, they use a deceleration rate of 14 feet per second with a perception time of 1 second. Wisconsin's Department of Transportation states in their handouts their deceleration rate is 10 feet per second. Wrong. Frank Busalaki, I ask you, is 2 times A when A equals 1020? I'll ask that again of you, Frank. Is 2 times A when A equals 1020? And again, Dave Veith, you're down in Madison DOTing. Is 2 times A when A equals 1020? And to Ross Spitz, the Eau Claire traffic engineer, I ask you the same question. Is 2 times A when A equals 1020? I ask you, the viewers, the same question. Is 2 times A when A equals 1020? The obvious answer is yes. Absolutely. Wisconsin Department of Transportation under Frank Busalaki doesn't agree with the answer of 20 when establishing yellow light durations on roadways under their control in the state of Wisconsin. The deceleration rate of 14 feet per second is the correct deceleration rate per Federal Regulation 393.55. A local politician explained the situation this way. Drivers must be satisfied with short yellow light times. They're paying the $160.80 fine without complaining. Is that the truth? That's up to you. If you doubt the explanation, get involved. Call, talk with friends, neighbors, and associates. Shame on Frank Busalaki, head of Wisconsin Department of Transportation. Shame on Ross Spitz, Eau Claire's transportation engineer. Shame on Thomas Brahms, CEO and president of ITE. Shame on Governor Doyle, state of Wisconsin. Shame on Richard Kapka, Federal Highway Administration, for allowing this injustice to continue on roadways in Wisconsin and throughout America. I'm Bob Willits. This sham needs your attention. By getting involved, you can improve the safety at controlled intersections, along with stopping unjustifiable enrichments of municipal coffers. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.